This video will compare and explore daguerreotype photography and mobile phone photography, specifically looking at portraiture and the role it plays in society. The daguerreotype was one of the first forms of photography, which was invented in 1839 by Jacques Daguerre. Daguerreotype portraiture was a form of expression that allowed its subjects to both show off and document themselves and loved ones. The daguerreotype was a photographic process that involved a picture being made on a light-sensitive silver-coated plate. This being one of the earliest forms of photography meant it took anywhere from a few seconds to a few minutes to properly expose the image. This technology allowed the process of archiving and documentation to be much more efficient since it only took up to a few minutes to create an image. People used daguerreotype photography to document anything from medical phenomena to people simply wanting to document themselves in their profession. Two of the most famous daguerreotype photographers, Albert Southworth and Josiah Hawes, created new windows for self-expression, often giving their sitters props and specific clothing to help illustrate social situations. They saw this new technology as an innovative leap in documentation and expression. Southpaw commented that, "Suffice it to say, I can now create the perfect picture in 1 hour's time that would take a painter weeks to draw." Since these photographs still did take an hour to create, the setting and scene portrayed took careful consideration. As said before, stylistic choices were made to help portray a specific image of the subject. The sitter will often dress in a uniform and surround themselves with possessions to create a desired image of themselves that they will tell others about their social context in society. And although the daguerreotype allowed the photographer to create images more quickly, it also allowed the subject more control to express themselves. American philosopher Ralph Waldo comments perfectly on how the artist stands aside and lets you paint yourself. The daguerreotype was a way for people to document their lives and allow their own personal image of themselves to be published. With the invention of the mobile phone camera, people were now able to shoot as many self-taken portraits as they like with the click of a button. This ability to self-publish your own portrait on social media websites like Facebook and Instagram give the author a context for multimodal identity practices. This is basically where you can create several images of yourself which you choose to publish and show others. Just like the posed daguerreotype portraits, self-taken pictures or selfies are carefully chosen to reveal specific information about oneself. However, the difference really lies in your new ability to share and communicate these images in a large networked community. These personalities we create for ourselves online allow us to create our own virtual community that may be very different to our own physical one. We have developed a habit of glamorizing ourselves in social media websites to create a more perfect image of our lives that we like to show others. So this brings into question, who are we really seeing online? Even the so-called candid shots we see on social media are posted to create a glamorized identity that may and might be unauthentic. A good example is people's profile pictures on dating websites like Tinder. Often we will post the most attractive picture of ourselves that isn't necessarily what we look like in real life. Although it is easy to criticize the ability to publish an unrealistic version of ourselves on the internet with this new technology like mobile phone cameras, it has opened up an opportunity to bring forward new forms of creative expression, just like the daguerreotype did. However, mobile phone technology has given people more accessibility to these opportunities. Many people own Instagram accounts purely devoted to creating an artistic gallery of their work, or using this technology as an easy way to self-promote. Since the mobile phone is a portable device, it is there to capture almost anything and everything in our everyday life, promoting communication and self-expression. Because of this, people are able to archive their own experiences and lives and end up with a rounded gallery of their life that they want to show others. This has become a large part of people's lives. In contrast to the daguerreotype, where a person's identity was often summed up in just one picture. This evolution of the camera has allowed what was once a practice of documentation and preservation to become a form of communication and expression. Although, yes, we still do enjoy the process of documentation and archiving, the practice of photography has entered a new form of meaning where we can use it to create and communicate any image of ourselves that we want.